first off, how did this get started? Where did this idea come from? Because this is spectacular. Welcome to Mornings on Main Street, Murfreesboro. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Coming up on today's show, we get some valuable information from the regional manager for the Central Tennessee region for the Better Business Bureau. James Price shares with us some information about small business development, some of the complaints that he hears, and where you can get his information bi-weekly on a radio station that picks up there in Rutherford County. After that, I get to introduce you to the business owner from BORO BOWLS. Get this, she started out in a food truck and 1 year later had a brick and mortar location. It's a great story for entrepreneurs out there. Maybe you can follow in her footsteps. And after that, Tom Adkinson, our Tennessee traveler, takes us to the Tennessee Aquarium and shares with us their expansion. We have that and more coming up.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between. Discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. This morning we have the regional manager of the Central Tennessee region for the Better Business Bureau of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, Mr. James Price, with us. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
You know, we've talked with your friend, in another area, Melanie Thompson, often about the BBB. Tell us about the BBB in your region, in your area.
So our BBB, we have MTSU. We have a big chapter of that's connected to the Chamber of Commerce, is the Small Business Development Center that we try to work with to grow business. In my area, we have a radio show on WGNS every other week, where you can tune in at 10:30 and hear about the local scams in the marketplace and what's going on. Sometimes we focus on the consumer, sometimes we focus on the business. Mm-hmm. So, one of the things that we talk about is, BBB's vision is to create an ethical marketplace where buyers and sellers can trust each other.
Right.
And so we get calls from consumers and businesses on a pretty regular basis. Mm-hmm. Those consumers, they'll call in and they'll say they may be looking for a business they can trust, mm-hmm. that can come out to their home. And the big thing, I think Melanie mentioned this in hers, is, we do the background checks on businesses so you can feel comfortable with these people coming into your home, because we have done the work ahead of time. So we kind of give them a little green light along the way. And then, for the businesses, what they want is they want to have the consumers that they can work with, of course. Mm-hmm. And so, that's BBB. We're connecting the buyers and the sellers together to build that ethical marketplace. We hold our accredited businesses to a high standard. They have to come up with our standards, and we make sure that they do. Consumers can pretty much rest assured if they file a complaint against an accredited business, they're probably going to answer, and you're going to get both sides of the story, right? But they want to do that. They wouldn't be in BBB if they didn't like to protect their brand,
100%, and
just protect their business overall. So they're looking to make, joining up with BBB and applying with BBB. What they're basically saying is, hey, we run an ethical business. and we want to take care of our customers.
And they want their customers to know and their fellow businesses to know that they run.
Absolutely.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I do want to ask, talking about complaints, how many complaints do you receive? Is that the majority of the calls that come in? You were saying no.
Well, my job really isn't to handle the complaints, but I do get calls on a fairly irregular basis. I might get 2 or 3 a week. And I don't just say, hey, you need to call this number. I'll walk people through, the process. And, they can give me a little information on what they're doing. And, one of the things I tell businesses and consumers alike is that if you either need to file a complaint or you're responding to a complaint, you should do it just like your Spock from Star Trek.
Okay.
Just the facts, no emotions.
Right.
Don't use all caps and 4-letter words. Just, this is what happened. And the consumer says, well, this is what I'd like out of it. And of course, the business is saying, well, here's my side of the story. So, just kind of keep that, because you got to remember too, that both sides, eventually in the end, they're probably both going to get published.
Right.
And you're going to see the consumer side and you're going to see the business side.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize the business side would be published.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I like that though, because there are 2 sides to every story or every interaction. We all know that.
Right. And, my background, I was in customer service for many, many years. And, I actually worked out in LA for a while.
Wow.
And I always tell people, if you thought you saw all the complaints, just go to LA for a little while.
An hour. Just go for an hour. Well, you also have an event coming up in the Murfreesboro area in the month of August. What is that about?
Yeah, so August 12th, Men's Expo is going to be at New Vision Church. You can sign up on the New Vision website. I think it's like 9 to 1 or something like that. They're going to have breakfast and they're going to have a light lunch. And then they're going to have various other activities and events throughout the day. It could be cooking and hunting and a lot of men's stuff, So, but I will be there talking about, I'll have my own little breakout room. We'll talk about scams and what to watch out for, how to use BBB for your advantage, whether you're a consumer or a business.
Okay.
And so, it's going to be a great event. We do this Men's Expo at New Vision annually, and I'll be there this year giving a presentation.
Very nice. And again, that is August 12th?
Absolutely, yes.
Fantastic. And let's jump back real quick to the radio spot that you do bi-weekly, or is it weekly?
It's every other week, yes.
Every other week. Can
Yes.
people send in questions to you? Do you take questions that you respond to?
We don't.
Okay.
It's a pretty short show. It's 20 to 30 minutes, and basically tune in and, we'll talk about the scams. We'll talk about events coming up and that kind of stuff with BBB. And it's just a good way to, listen to what's going on. Of course, you can always go to gobbb.org and read some of these scams yourself.
And what radio station is that and what time?
WGNS 1030.
Fantastic. James, thank you so very much. If you have a question, feel free to send me your question. I am more than happy to ask our Better Business Bureau regional managers that question for you. My email, again, it's smiller@mainstreetmediatn.com. Send it my way and I will ask them, because we are going to continue to check in with our BBBs in the different regions. So again, James, thanks.
And absolutely, they can email me too at jprice@gobbb.org.
Fantastic. I appreciate that very much. And we always appreciate you. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have a little bit more coming up after this commercial break.
Welcome back to today's Better Health. I'm Colleen Barton, and I'm here with Dr. Gil Kentoff and Dr. Wendy Toohey, and we're talking about the latest treatments in back and neck pain.
Many people, Colleen, come to see us with neck and back pain, and they develop tingling and numbness down the arm or lower back pain that develops into sciatica shooting down their leg. And for these patients, we have an advanced treatment technology, non-surgical decompression therapy, that we really introduced to this area. It separates the vertebrae and creates a suction to allow fluids and nutrients back in to heal the disc naturally, relieving pressure on the nerve and on the joint. It's an amazing treatment.
We've been helping patients like this for the last 30 years, helping them get back to work, get back to their family, get back to the life they want to live. I mean, it really is amazing. Technology helping us to live pain-free and better lives.
Right.
And I bet you have a special offer.
The first 25 callers will receive an examination, x-rays, review of our findings, and their first treatment, all for $39.
Call 615-551-3897 today to receive this special offer.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
Welcome back. So we're heading to Murfreesboro now to talk with the owner of BORO BOWLS, Tosha Worthen. I can't wait to share her story with you. She had a dream of having a brick and mortar, but she had to start with a food truck. And let me tell you, that food truck didn't last long because she became extremely popular. And this morning she shares her story and some advice to other entrepreneurs who are looking to follow in her footsteps. From this food truck, it took Tosha Worthen, the owner of BORO BOWLS, 1 year to make what was a dream become a reality and offer healthy items for people in the Murfreesboro, Rutherford County area. So welcome to BORO BOWLS. Welcome, Tosha. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having me
Thank
here.
you for coming in. It's my pleasure.
I find it amazing that you went from this truck to this incredible location.
Yes, within a year.
Within a year. Was it because people wanted to have that healthy option of food?
I think so. I started my business right when COVID started, so people really kind of did a big switch. They all wanted to be healthy. They didn't want to eat bad food. They didn't, and I had a food truck. I came to their neighborhood. I would bring my bowls there and always had a line and always did, really well that I knew I needed more space. This place opened up and it just so happened that I had so much support from, the neighborhoods and the community that it was a very easy transition.
And you always wonder at locations like this, what pushed you to open this? Because not only do people want to eat healthy, but some have dietary restrictions where they cannot, of course, eat some of the more the rich or fatty sort of foods. So they need this option. You yourself had a dietary restriction, which helped
I did. I do understand. I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant, so I understand having different things that you're not allowed to eat. We're dairy-free. We have vegan options, gluten-free options, sugar-free. I don't add any sugars or ice or powders to any of them. So when you come here, you're getting a whole food. You're getting what you see is what you get. There's no hidden agenda. There's no added ice, nothing here. So try to keep it as nutritious as possible.
How do you create your bowls? How do you come up with the what you mix in a certain bowl?
A lot of market research. Before I started doing this, I started following North Carolina coast all the way down, and then I started following California coast all the way down, and I kind of took fast-paced California. They eat a lot healthier out there, and then I took the slower east side of the coast and mixed them together and kind of just built my own.
Did you mix some things together at certain points? And be oh gosh, that's good.
Definitely so. And we started not knowing anything. I hired a girl on Facebook. She's been with me for 4 years. We trained in my garage and in my kitchen on different blenders and kind of just figured out how it went. If it didn't work, we tried things differently. And we're still learning to this day. We've been doing things the same for so long, but if we find a new way, we just try to make it as streamlined and as good as we can to get people in and out as fast as possible.
Walk us through some of the combinations and how you guys have your setup in the back.
Okay. One of our top items that we sell here is the acai bowl. And when you order those, they come as they are with the granola and almond butter, honey on top. When you place your order, we go to the back. We've got everything measured perfectly. So you're going to have the same bowl every time. You're not going to come in and it be, one person makes it one way. You go to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. The coffees may be different. It won't be here. We have our topping stations. We're all very particular, following the directions, and just basically you can kind of get your bowl any way you want it.
And you're seeing some of the ladies in the back preparing some of the bowls. There's an acai bowl there. There's a blue bowl. What is that?
That is the Aloha bowl, which is our second top seller.
Okay.
That was very popular with the young crowd. But yes, it's very vibrant blue, and it is dyed naturally with blue spirulina, which is a form of algae. No taste. It's just really, we put it in there to dye it a natural color without using food dyes and things like that, but it also is extremely good for your gut health. So as I say, it works from the inside out, and you're going to feel better eating any of these bowls. any of them.
Something else I noticed when I walked in, you have a very vibrant, positive location. So
Yes.
you have some happy sayings on the wall, some positive motivational sayings.
Yes.
Why do that?
It's my whole life, you know. I think that you should. I want this place to be how I want every restaurant to be. When I go in, I want to be welcomed. I want to have the employees that all like each other. Everybody's getting along. All of our customers know each other. The customers are my kids' teachers. You know, I go to Kroger and Walmart, and you know, I'm always running into all these women, and it's just a big, huge tribe. I wouldn't have made it as well as I have if it wasn't for the clientele. And they're all very supportive, no matter if I'm having employee issues where I'm short-staffed or I have to close early. Never had a negative thing said, and it's like, I think if you put it out, you get it back.
So for other entrepreneurs, those who have a dream, and they're like, you know, maybe one day this might be a thing, maybe it won't, what can you say to them?
Go for it. I was in banking for 20 years, working for corporate America, you know, from my 20s, my 30s to the beginning of my 40s. And one day I just said, let's do it. What do you have to lose? And took out a little loan and my equity in my house and bought my little food truck. And it was going to be part-time. I was just going to do it part-time. I had a baby 4 years ago. You know, as I started the business, I was pregnant. So I planned on doing it part-time. But now that it kicked off the way it is, I'm full-time, you know, 6 days a week most of the time, 10 employees at a time. So just do it.
I love that. Just
do it.
You never know what can happen if you just put take that first step.
Had I been too scared, it may never have happened. And then, you know, 4 years later, it's happy. It's good.
Tasha Worthen, thank you for sharing your story with us here at BORO BOWLS in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you're ever out and about, stop by, check it out, check in. And you know, wherever you are, always ask, what's your story? How did you make this happen? What did you do? Because you never know the answer that you're going to get. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're very
welcome.
Thank you. Stick right here. We have more coming up on Murfreesboro. We have more coming up on Mornings on Main Street right after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
I'm so excited about this new show.
Dino Trek is back again this year. It's bigger than we've ever had it before.
When they're about 5 months old, we'll start seeing them sticking their head out of the pouch, or you might see a foot come out or a tail.
It's like an Airbnb for Joey's. Now, you're not going to see all three of them together because cats in general don't get along unless it's time to get along, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh, my.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way there. Animals, nature, and fun. That's what we're all about. But during that time, we hope that you also learn something, that you're inspired to want to learn something.
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bar 2.
Catch At the Zoo exclusively on Main Street Media TV. Check our on-screen TV guide for days and times.
They said I wouldn't make it without a college degree.
They said only a man could be a roofing executive.
They said a former addict always relapses.
They said my amputation would keep me out of roofing.
They said never give an ex-convict a second chance.
They said I could never be a leader.
They said I couldn't support my family as a single mom.
At Rackley, we say they're wrong.
Want to change the world? Change it, one roof at a time.
I get to share with you video
from the Robert Spicer Buck Dance Championship. And let me tell you, it was really cool to see youngsters and those who either dance with Mr. Spicer or those who just knew him carry on that legacy by showing off their buck dance or flat footwork on the dance floor. Also, keep an eye out because I am in some of this video. Towards the end of the video, you'll notice me in a white blouse. I took part in my age group for the Buck Dance Championship, and once it's over, I'll share with you where I placed.
Welcome to the 4th annual Robert Spicer Tennessee State Buck Dance Championship.
I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. So I will share with you, I took part in the age group of 36 to 50. There were 3 of us that danced in this, and I placed first. And let me tell you, it brought back a number of memories of dancing with Mr. Spicer when I was a kid. And let me tell you, my ankles still hurt today. All right, stick with us. We have a little bit more coming up here on Mornings on Main Street right after this.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Welcome back. When was the last time that you made a visit to the Tennessee Aquarium? Well, if it's been a minute, they have a new area there, Ridges to Rivers. And you know who's already made that trip? Our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson. He's here with us to share what we can learn, what's new there to learn. First off, Tom, always a treat.
Delighted to be here. It's a nice day in Tennessee.
Well, first off, tell us this one. What is Ridges to Rivers and what can we learn?
It is a major new part of the Tennessee Aquarium in the freshwater building.
Okay.
Called River Journeys. And it is on the 3rd floor. If you've been to the aquarium before, you know that you go to the top and start walking down through the levels. And it is a place that explains the beauty and the diversity of what's in the mountain streams that we all enjoy looking at in East Tennessee.
What surprised you the most, I guess, with the information that you learned by walking through?
The thing that got me the most is how colorful some of the little bitty fish are there in those mountain streams. I'm a trout fisherman. Every once in a while, I'll catch a small fish, a non-trout fish. And it's usually one that has a beautiful little red streak across its cheek. And I didn't realize that was just one of probably a dozen different species that are in those waters. And some of them are just absolutely beautiful. One of them is called a tangerine darter, and that's a theme that goes through the whole exhibit. They did a caricature of a tangerine darter, which they named Clementine, which I thought was just a good citrus fruit joke.
Yes.
And indeed, seeing all of those beautiful little bitty fish, as one of my aquarium friends said, it's proof that we have stuff that's as pretty as some of the tropical reefs where people go out to go snorkeling and skin diving.
Oh, no kidding. Well, as you're looking through this, as you're going through this new area, how many exhibits do they have, and are they interactive?
There are several that you can get involved with yourself. There's one, a separate aquarium with some slightly bigger fish in, where kids and adults, I might tell you, can climb in a tube and be effectively inside of that aquarium, nose to nose with a rock bass. There's another one that simulates a mountain rainstorm.
Okay.
And it's really pretty cool. The sky goes dark, the wind picks up, the noises happen, the squall occurs. It's the only thing that doesn't happen is that you don't get wet. And then the main big exhibit, big piece of it, is a 22-foot stretch of stream. And it's so realistic that the aquarium specialists are hoping that over the course of time, they can actually have some nest building and maybe some spawning of some of the fish that they have in there.
How wonderful would that be? I'm just still amazed about the aquatic diversity that we have in our rivers and our streams that we can see. And what a great way to, educate the little ones. So maybe the next time they're out fishing, they can start, oh, that looks like the fish that we saw at the Tennessee Aquarium.
Right. And there's one other big piece toward the end of the Ridges to Rivers. It's a touch tank that has, and it's bigger touch tank that used to be in the aquarium. And it holds lake sturgeon. And lake sturgeon are this prehistoric looking fish, and indeed they are. They existed at the time of dinosaurs.
No kidding.
A lake sturgeon in Tennessee today, if it's lucky and lives, it can make it to 150 years old, be 8 feet long, weigh 300 pounds. And even in the Tennessee River, we don't think about there being fish that big.
No.
They have tough skins and ridges along their backs. And there's a tank there where you can just stand and reach your hand in the tank and feel one of these incredible prehistoric fish.
That might be the coolest. Could you imagine trying to reel one of those in?
Oh, that would be amazing. And by the way, when people do catch them occasionally, it's the law. Those go back in.
Okay.
Unharmed and back in the water.
I had no idea that is the law. I love hearing that, though. Tom, thank you so very much for bringing this to our attention. How long should we give ourselves going through? Should we make sure we have a couple of hours?
Oh, my goodness. The Tennessee Aquarium should be an all-day event as far as I'm concerned. Okay. There's the freshwater aquarium. There's adjacent is Ocean Journey. It's a saltwater habitats. Just amazing stuff. You could spend a couple of hours in each one of those easily. And then there's an IMAX theater with some of the knock your socks off movies you can imagine. So it's a 3-part stop right there. Give yourself the better part of the day to enjoy the Tennessee Aquarium.
Good to know. Thank you. We love following in your footsteps in your travels.
I have fun getting out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. We'll see you next week.
Let's do it again. And in the meanwhile, everybody keep traveling.